Good evening. I'm Dan Rather. Barbara Hauer is away on assignment. Charles Carrault reports from on the road. And this is Who's Who, these people and their stories.
James Earl Ray, after 8 years of silence in prison as the assassin of Martin Luther King, for the first time on television, he tells his story.
Did you fire the shot that killed Dr. Martin Luther King?
No, and I think now, based on investigations of those who have represented me, that we could prove it through some type of judicial proceedings.
Max Robinson, a Washington newsman caught in the middle of the Hanafi Muslims story. Is the press an unwitting ally of the terrorists, or only a hostage itself?
They're going to kidnap me. I'm going to be kidnapped by the Hanafis.
L.L. Bean, the family name that stands for a store that stands for a style, if you call boots and backpacks style.
This portion of Who's Who is sponsored by Pampers with the famous Stay Dry lining. They help keep baby dry.
And 1 and 2 and touch your knees.
Oh, I haven't seen my knees for a month.
When I had my first, I couldn't even see my toes.
Okay, take a break.
You've been through this before?
You bet. What do you want to know?
Well, what about diapers?
Pampers, all the way.
What about other brands?
I wouldn't use anything but Pampers. They're the only diaper for me.
You're that sure?
Absolutely. They've been helping keep my first dry since the day he was born.
Since the day he was born?
Sure. My hospital uses them. You know, more hospitals use Pampers than all other diapers put together. There are lots of reasons why. Helping clothes and bedding stay dry, that saves on laundry. But what I like best is Pampers Stay Dry lining. It helps keep the wetness in the padding to keep baby skin drier.
Boy, it's sure nice to talk to someone with experience.
Ask any mother about Pampers dryness.
Terrorism, television. Each new episode of kidnapping or hijacking seems to reinforce that link, raising questions about the role of the media in these nerve-wracking incidents. After last week's siege of Washington by a group of Hanafi Muslims holding well over 100 hostages, no less a source than the UN ambassador, Andrew Young, called it an example of glorifying and advertising these kinds of events. Newsmen call it covering the story. But when violent people are playing to the camera, there's no question that the medium itself can become a kind of hostage, and the reporter has to dodge and struggle to keep from being captured and used. That was the spot a Washington newsman named Max Robinson found himself in last week. As anchorman at television station WTOP, he was in the middle of that story that held the country's attention.
It was an act of terrorism so broad, so bizarre, so many lives at stake, that it brought the nation's capital to a standstill. After the murder of one man and the wounding of many others, the terrorists held 3 buildings and 134 hostages at gunpoint. Police vainly tried to set up some channel of communication with them. But this is an age of media consciousness, of politics by public terror, and the terrorists insisted on an audience for their negotiations. The only channel they would accept was the media. The man they wanted to communicate through was Max Robinson. For the last 2 years, the face and voice of WTOP's 6 and 11 p.m. newscasts, the broadcasts with the biggest local audience. The terrorists established a telephone dialogue with Robinson, who was the first to broadcast their demands. Among other things, that a new movie about the Prophet Muhammad be banned, because they found it offensive.
But once the film is removed from this country, once you are asking that those responsible for the deaths or who killed your children be brought to the B'nai B'rith building.
And the ones that killed Malcolm.
And the ones that killed Malcolm.
That's right. I want them.
And you're asking for the $750?
I want them. And the $750. And be sure you make on the radio that I've turned down millions of dollars, so it's not the $750, but this dog-ass Judge Braben. He hold me in contempt of court because I charged the murderers that murder my babies. Now, what do you think about that? And you think I'm going to roll over and play dead? What do you think I am? some kind of jokester. I take my face serious.
At 37, Robinson is a 12-year veteran of the news business. A college dropout, an Air Force man who went home to Virginia and started pounding on newsroom doors. Unsuccessfully, until things started opening up for blacks in Washington. As a TV reporter around town, he had covered some big local stories, some other Muslim stories. His professional judgment, he says, had never been so critically tested.
When I had one, have to sell that. You think I went through all that as a joke, Max? Do you?
I understand what you're
All
saying.
right, then.
After
I'm very
the,
serious
you have
about my
made
faith.
those. You have made
What about those sharpshooters, brother? They may have moved them somewhere else. Keep stacking, boys. Keep stacking, boys. Move it faster. Make them move faster, Latif. Work them.
Hamas?
Yes.
You talked to Police Chief Cullinane a few moments ago.
Yes.
What were your demands of him?
Same thing, Max. I'm through. All right? Been talking all day. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right.
In terms of understanding what you're covering, in terms of the sensitivity of what you're covering, you're talking about emotional sensitivity. It's a little different from sensitivity for facts. You can get the facts. All of us get the facts. That's a very important part of the business. In my struggle to be a good journalist, I have no fear of having that kind of sensitivity. But I recognize that the danger is that you can go overboard and become a participant, become an advocate. I think the only reason that I have been called a participant, or that I was involved or in the middle, as has been said, and many expressions have been used, was simply because I got it first, and I got an understanding of it. That's all.
If we have to air 15, ready voiceover.
By his direct contact on the air with the kidnappers, Robinson was already walking a thin line between reporter and messenger, between observer and participant. Now, a telephone call he was about to receive could push him over the line and into the story he was covering.